In 2006, a deadly E. coli outbreak impacted nearly 200 people across 27 US states.
An E. coli scare is the reason why. Darlene Hill is live in South Suburban Lansing with that story. Dar?
And it took about a month to identify the source of the virus in a spinach farm in California's Salinas Valley. That delay meant massive nationwide recalls, widespread panic, and at least 3 deaths.
Hundreds of bags of raw spinach out here. Just take a look at some of the bins right here. All of this stuff in the garbage.
Can you really call it a supply chain if no one knows who's holding what sling? Ever wondered why global trade still works like a game of Chinese whispers? A product changes hands 10 times, crosses 6 borders, and no one really knows who did what, when, or how. Your clothes may have passed through 6 different states, your smartphone over 30 different suppliers, yet you, the buyer, know none of it. A bottle of honey says 100% organic Himalayan sourced, but how do you know that it didn't come from a factory 2 cities away? What if you could scan it and trace every step from the hive to shelf? This video is of 2 parts. Part 1 is about the problems faced and part 2 is about addressing it. The problems in the supply chain management network. Firstly, supply chain is global, complex, and increasingly opaque. The supply chain industry is a $50 trillion machine, but it's deeply fragmented across geographies, actors, and sectors. A phone combines lithium from Bolivia, glass from Japan, and assembly in China. Each part moves across different borders without any real-time visibility. Nobody sees the whole map. Then comes the problem of invisibility of origin players. Think about a cotton farmer in Maharashtra or a tea grower in Assam. They provide the raw material, but when the final product hits a store in Delhi or Chennai, they're completely invisible. There is no record of who they are, if they were paid, or what condition they worked in. Then comes the traceability gap. In food and pharma, sectors where errors can literally kill, the traceability gap is dangerous. If something is spoiled, there is no way to trace back what exactly went wrong. Now think about the example of the E. coli outbreak in the United States. Blockchain could change that. Part 2. Blockchain offers one simple promise. Record everything, trust no one. Each product gets a digital identity. Imagine if Kirana store receipts, warehouse bills, and export clearances all lived in one shared, verifiable digital timeline. I'll break it down into 4 parts, so even if you have never heard of blockchain before, you will get what's really going on. Number 1. How goods are identified. Let's say every product, a mango, a medicine strip, or a tea box gets a unique ID, like a passport. This is called a traceability code and can be printed as a QR code. The idea, you give each item a digital twin, a physical product getting its digital identity. So if someone swaps or tampers with the real thing, the system catches it. Think of it like an Aadhaar card for products, unique, traceable, and unfakeable. Number 2, how is data written on the blockchain? At every step, like farming, packaging, and shipping, something important happens. But how does that get logged without being faked? Here's how it works. IoT sensors, which are tiny smart devices, capture live data like temperature, location, or humidity. For example, if a vaccine has to stay cold, a sensor will track it throughout the journey. Mobile apps or scanners let workers manually input information like a time of delivery, packaging method, or batch ID, etc. This information is locked using a digital fingerprint called a cryptographic signature. You can think of it like a secure stamp that provides who entered the data. Before the data is saved, it goes through 2 things. It's hashed, turned into a short, scrambled string like a tamper-proof code. It is sent to the blockchain network then, where other people, including other computers in the form of computers called nodes, check if it looks legit and then lock it permanently. In many real-world systems like Hyperledger blockchain framework, which is called a Hyperledger fabric, only approved companies and people can access or update data. This is called a permissioned blockchain. Imagine it like a gated community where only verified residents can get in. Large files, for example like inspection photos or lab reports, aren't dumped directly into the blockchain. Instead, they are stored using a system called IPFS, Interplanetary File System. The blockchain only stores a reference, like a proof of existence for the file but not the content of the file. Number 3, how trust works without a central authority. Now usually you need a middleman like a government or a big logistics company or a certification body to make sure things are running right. Blockchain removes that need. Here is how. Everyone in the system, farmers, processors, warehouse operators and regulators become a node on the blockchain. Before joining, they are approved and given a digital certificate like an online ID card saying that this person is real. When anyone adds data, others in the network verify it before locking it in. All these information is organized using something called Merkle tree, a fancy term, but here is a simple idea. If someone tries to secretly change one small part of a product's history, the entire chain of record breaks. Like breaking a link in the chain, the whole thing falls apart, you'll know instantly. This makes blockchain so powerful, you don't have to trust people, you trust the system. Number 4, how this looks in real life. Let's walk through a real world blockchain system used in the tea industry. A tea grower in Assam records details like the soil pH value, temperature and humidity when the leaves are planted. When the leaves are processed, the factory logs how they are dried and packed. A traceability code is attached to each box. At every step, warehouse, distributor and kirana store, the box is scanned and the data is automatically updated. When a customer in Chennai scans the code at a store, they can see the full journey of their tea from farm to shelf. The supply chain stops being a black box. It starts becoming a glass box, open, traceable and accountable.